Today, we are witnessing the tightening of a prophetic noose, and it's being done in the name of freedom, labor rights, and Christian values. This isn't about the past, it's about right now. From legislative proposals to political platforms and religious unity, the contractions are increasing. What began with whispers is now echoing through congressional halls, papal encyclicals, and corporate policies. Where worship is enforced, conscience is tested, and every soul must choose between truth and tradition. The contractions have begun. And the next push may be the last. Around the globe, momentum is building for a work-free Sunday. And not just for personal or family reasons, but for society and even the planet. In Europe, this idea has become a movement. The European Sunday Alliance, a network of trade unions, civil groups, and churches, campaigns for laws that would keep Sunday as a common day of rest. One supporter, a member of the European Parliament, proclaimed, "I'm happily supporting the European Sunday Alliance in our fight for this crucial achievement." The European Day for a Work-Free Sunday reminds us of the need to take collective breaks and come together. Across European countries, there have been synchronized Sunday closings of shops, bans on Sunday labor, and special events to encourage family time. These aren't merely church initiatives. Secular governments have enforced Sunday trading restrictions, arguing that it promotes social cohesion. Even in largely secular France and Germany, laws protect Sunday rest, and violators, like a company opening on Sunday when it shouldn't, can face fines. The notion is simple. When everyone rests on the same day, communities thrive. People can meet, relax, and worship if they choose, without the relentless drum of commerce in the background. This rallying cry for a day of rest has echoed far beyond Europe. In fact, some surprisingly non-Christian countries have joined in. In predominantly Muslim Malaysia, lawmakers and religious leaders have discussed the benefits of a common pause day, and interestingly, many have gravitated toward Sunday. In India, during the height of recent crises, certain regions implemented Sunday lockdowns so people and the environment could breathe. Even Taiwan, with its mix of Buddhist and folk traditions, saw campaigns to reduce Sunday work, showing that the hunger for rest knows no religious boundary. Perhaps most striking, in the South Pacific nation of Samoa, leaders pushed to ban Sunday trading altogether, reviving older customs of a sacred Sunday. It's as if an instinctive understanding is emerging worldwide. We all need a Sabbath. Different cultures may choose different days, but the principle of a weekly day of rest is nearly universal, and increasingly, Sunday is becoming that focal point. A new and urgent dimension to this global rest movement is the environmental angle. As our planet reels from climate change, intense fires, storms, and a warming world, some are proposing an Earth Sabbath. They reason that if humanity pauses its industry one day a week, the reduction in emissions and consumption could help heal the Earth. In 2024, a group known as the Earth Sabbath movement urged world leaders to consider a weekly day of rest specifically to combat climate change. In fact, the idea was brought to the prestigious G7 Summit of Nations. Advocacy organizations called on the Pope and heads of state to use their influence to establish a global Sunday rest for the sake of the planet. The proposal is simple. 1 day out of 7, everyone, factories, traffic, businesses, takes a break, giving Earth a breather. The concept gained enough traction that Pope Francis, who has spoken about caring for creation, was invited to address the G7 on this very issue. An environmental newsletter described it this way: world leaders are seriously considering a weekly day of rest to combat climate change. It sounds almost too idealistic, but advocacy groups are pressing hard. They argue that a coordinated weekly shutdown could significantly reduce carbon emissions and remind humanity that we are caretakers of nature, not just consumers. The convergence is remarkable. Social reformers, family advocates, religious leaders, and environmentalists, all strange bedfellows, find common ground in the call for a weekly rest day. For some, it's about worship and honoring God. For others, it's about well-being and protecting workers or families. And for an increasing number, it's about saving the Earth. This broadening coalition gives the Sunday movement unprecedented momentum. It no longer appears as a purely sectarian or nostalgic idea, but as a forward-looking solution to multiple crises. Give us back Sunday, people are saying, each with their own reasoning. And the world's powers are listening. Policies are being discussed and in some places enacted that favor a rhythm of rest. On the surface, it sounds wonderful. Who wouldn't want a day off? But beneath the surface, for those who know Bible prophecy, there is a growing concern. A day meant for blessing could become a tool of coercion. A unifying ideal could become a means of division. As the world rallies for rest, we must ask, what happens to those who rest on a different day? The answer to that question leads us on a sobering journey into history.